Keith, and we got Big John C, of course, holding us down with all the mechanical difficulties that we have been experiencing lately. He's worked it out.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I know. I'm just rambling on. Yeah, we're gonna have another wonderful show. Believe that. It's gonna be another wonderful show. It's gonna be all about Trump. all about Trump. I know people are like, why are you always getting on Trump case? Because the guy wanted to be in the news, all right? You only want to give him the stuff that he wants. Well, I think it was the great, iconic, who is that guy with all the hair? Howard Stern?
Howard Stern?
Howard Stern with all the hair with the radio show?
He had all that hair, yeah.
He still got that hair, right?
It's not as...
Okay.
full.
That's the guy, Howard Stern. Okay, in his wisdom, he once said that any kind of publicity is good publicity, bad or good. And that's the thing that Donald Trump's been running on. So he always getting the good publicity. Let's give him the rest of it. Let me put in my headphones. Are you ready? Segue. Yeah. Okay. Here we go. Can we dial that down a little bit in my headphones?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. How's that?
Yeah, that's great. So here we go.
Where are we going?
I brain freeze here.
Oh,
Came
scared me there.
Yeah.
You're
Okay.
not having a stroke, are you?
Dude, come on, man. You know what? Somebody asked me what my age was. I gave my age, and now I'm gonna get the old people jokes all the time. You see, like, nah, I'm not going through no Trump stuff here, right? Cognitively impaired. No. I'm not gonna let the people off the hook that easy, and you're not gonna help them. So yeah, like I said, it ain't gonna be all about Trump, but a lot of it's gonna be about Trump. One of the main things that we're gonna talk about is why all about Trump playing his what do you call those things? His acolytes, his followers, his base for suckers. I mean, he's literally playing them for suckers. And I'll tell you why I say this. Because I heard about something, him doing a media deal, like I think it was like a year ago, a little over a year ago, and that was it. And somebody was talking about a few months ago, like about 6 or 7 months ago, and right before the summer, you know, how he had this deal. He was going to get like $4 billion. I'm like, yeah, right, $4 billion. Who going to do a deal with this guy to give him $4 billion? Who? Apparently, somebody did. Somebody did. But here's what Mr. Slick said. Why I keep saying why he's playing his followers, right? He could have did this deal last year. He hooked up with another media company, right? Because you know he got Truth Social, right? But Truth Social is garbage. I mean, it is. It's not a great organization. Let me take that back. It's not a great organization. I want to be professional about this. They have a loss in money or revenue and stuff like that. They don't keep no documentations, and so far they made like $40 million. They made $40 million or something like that from investors. So it was some crazy numbers, right? But it didn't meet the level of not scrutiny, but the level to qualify to go on to the to what's that thing called? Oh, I can hear my nails. To go into the
Hey, just out of curiosity, did you start your stream for the live YouTube?
Yeah, I did. I was waiting. I was just waiting for you.
Okay, just so you know,
It's not going?
It's waiting. It says waiting.
It's waiting?
It's waiting for you.
It can't be waiting for me.
It's waiting for you.
What? It can't. It said.
I almost didn't want to interrupt you, but
no, it says stream setup. Excellent excellent connection. I don't. Maybe this is something else we're gonna have to deal with next time. Okay, we're gonna forego the live stream. All right, we're just gonna go with it. It says streaming software. We went through this last time, right? Anyway, I deviate. We got to deviate at least one time, right? Because we don't want it perfect, right? Because if it was perfect, they'd be comparing me to Jesus as opposed to Trump, right? Hey, I'm a minister, so I can be that way. What was I saying? Yeah, back to Trump. we'll take care of that next time. We'll go over. Okay, back to the subject at hand. All right. so Truth Social was not doing good as far as revenue. So he got hooked up with another company called DWAC. I don't forget what it's the digital whatever, some blah blah blah. Right? They've been around and they've been making a little money. Right? They've been okay. Right? Because in case you don't know, then you're about to know. You have to be a valid, profitable business before you could go on one of the stock exchanges for at least 5 years. Ergo, Google, right? Microsoft. We know about all the big names. All the big names. Hewlett Packard, all of them. Do they sell Hewlett Packard? Yeah, they still sell. So, yeah. Like Dell. You have to be in business for like 5 years and show a profit, extreme high profit if you want to go onto stock markets, right? And there's multiple ones. The Dow Jones and the Nasdaq and what's that? Not Equifax. There was the Equifax.
S&P 500.
S&P 500, but what's the Nasdaq? Nasdaq, S&P 500, like that. You have to show profits, X amount of profits for over 5 years. You have to show success, right? So Truth Social didn't meet that level. And so what happened is that he merged with another company, which he's supposed to be getting 60% of. Now, here's what happened. The company went live or public today. That's when you could buy stock and all that other stuff. It's supposed to start up today. But what else do we know about Donald Trump today? The Attorney General, New York State, is supposed to be going in to see if they're going to get that property, because he couldn't make that $500 million, right? And I'll explain where the $500 million came from. It was supposed to be today. He was supposed to pay for it today, right? So that didn't quite work out. So it looks like the property may be gone. But here's the thing. This deal, like I said, could have been done a year ago, at least 6 months ago, right? So it's a $3 billion windfall for him. Yeah. It wasn't $4 billion. They were saying $4 billion, but he's supposed to get like $3 billion from this this business venture. I don't know why anybody want to go in business with him. Yeah, boy, there are those who will gamble. So they couldn't go through the normal, what do you call that thing? The normal procedures. They couldn't go through the normal procedures, because it's very high. I mean, the level is high. You got to go through there. You got to give them the name of your all your business and show them all your tax returns. You got to give them some blood from your firstborn. So I mean, it's a lot of stuff in there, right?
A lot of disclosure. He probably wasn't interested in.
It's a lot of disclosure, a lot of credit checking and all that other stuff, and paperwork, documentation that has to be done if you go the right way to go into the Nasdaq and all that. The Nasdaq, the Dow Jones, and the New York Stock Exchange, all that. To go into those things, you have to have a high level of scrutiny. There's a high level of scrutiny that you have to, in the high mark that you have to meet. But then on the other side, on the low end of it, there's this a way that you can get on the stock market, but it's for like those that can't meet the qualifications to go into on a regular level. And it's a risk thing. It's a high risk factor. I mean, I guess that's where you go for the pump and dumps, which is what it sounds like. This thing that he's doing right now that's under DJT is like, it sounds like a pump and dump. Right? I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, I take it back. But it sounds like a pump and dump.
What's a pump and dump?
A pump and dump is like when they pump up the price for stock, when they're going onto the market and they pump it up, and then they sell it off right before it crashed, like GameStop. GameStop was one of those things, right? You saw, I think they had a movie like last year or something on GameStop that was based on GameStop. GameStop for a number of years was doing really, really good, right? They were doing local business. They were doing really, really good. But as soon as they went public, it crashed, right? I think a couple Bitcoin businesses did the same thing. They crashed, right? Some of them recovered, but a couple didn't. A few didn't. A lot of people lost a lot of money, right? So that being the case, that's what this is in right now. It's in one of those things where it's like, okay, they didn't get all the documentations because it's just not qualified. So the way it is now, a few days ago, a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago, a couple weeks ago, they started advertising, I think on Truth Social, to get people to buy, right? His people, his followers to buy, and other people to buy the stocks, so the price of stock can go up. I think it's capped out at like $45 and some change. But then Friday, apparently, it took a 14% dip. Dude, what? It took a 14% dip. But he's still getting that $3 billion. He's still supposed to have that $3 billion coming to him. But he can't touch the $3 billion for 6 months.
What happened? It took a what?
It took like a 14% drop. It happens. But we shouldn't be so hard because it's Donald Trump. Okay? He did good. Like all the other businesses, he did good. All right? He came off like a fat cat. In this way, he's coming off like a fat tiger, whatever that thing is, the braid between the lion and the tiger. You get them together, and they like bigger than the both of them combined. Yeah, like that animal. So anyway, that's how it's going right now. But the main thing is that the RNC, see how I segue into the RNC without cutting, skipping a beat? The RNC has been paying this guy legal bills for the past, year and a half since he's been in all this legal entanglement. That sounds like Jada Kiss, right? I mean, Jada Pinkett. Entanglement. I was in an entanglement. Well, I didn't have an affair. I was in an entanglement with somebody like a quarter of my age, my son's best friend. That was entanglement and a half. That was made for X video, red box or some red tube. So anyway, that's what happened. The question is, why are people paying all this bill? Why is the RNC paying his legal bills? Why? Because he was claiming broke, even though he knew that this money was going to come in, that this deal was going through. And so it just went through like today, but you got to go from 6 months, right? He cannot touch that money. He can't dole it out or anything, right?
Oh, great. Alarms going off.
What alarm?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Me neither. Anyway, that was an alarm. Yeah, you should have been alarmed. Because they just so happens on the same day that he got to pay that $500 million judgment. So what he was trying to do was he was trying to get the wealthier people, the billionaires, the supporters, to foot that bill, that $500 million today. But they didn't. So now there's a little problem. I hear that they may have given some wiggle room so that he don't have to pay the whole thing. He could pay like $170 million or something, which is a pretty penny, right? Pretty chunk of money, right? But still, all in all, he was playing all these people for suckers because had he let that deal go through, this deal right now, go through, we're gonna have fun this day. Let that bill go through, that business transaction go through a year ago or 6 months ago, he'd be able to pay that $500 million out of his pocket. But he wasn't. He was playing W.C. Fields right here. Me and Big John C., we went over there like a couple weeks ago, W.C. Fields, and how W.C. Fields was saying it's a sucker born every day. And we're saying that these guys, these supporters of Trump are suckers. They are. He don't care about you. He's in it for himself. That's it. He's just in it for himself. And you can be like, you're a Trump hater. I'm not a Trump hater. I'm just an American lover, right? I just love, I love Americans, Yeah, I'm the little guy like you guys, and I know how it is to have people like that abuse your respect, your trust, and that's what Trump is doing, right? I mean, it looks like now, if it's going the way, if it's going through the way it's going, that the Attorney General, Letitia James, right, look like she might be going for his main estate, because apparently they can take his property to settle this debt anywhere in the world. And he got one of the most gorgeous properties, one of the most personal properties in upstate New York. It's rivaling, if not better, than Mar-a-Lago. And actually, I would have to say it's better, because it's like this massive mansion, but it's not for business purposes. It's for the family. Like the family estate. I think they call it Seven Springs. Yeah, the Seven Springs Estate, and golf course. It's a whole different level, right? And that's up for grabs. Not to mention, what's that building? That building downtown Manhattan. Oh my gosh, yeah, it's
Trump Tower.
No, that's Trump Tower. that's like Midtown. Actually, Lower Midtown. It's a famous, the Westinghouse building, I think.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, the Westinghouse building. I think Trump owns the Westinghouse building as well, or something like that. And you got a lot of offices in there. Actually, yeah, you got a lot of offices. It's not completely full, but you got a lot of offices in there. So that's up for grabs. There's a lot of property up for grabs. But here's the main thing. Back to the same thing, is that had he let this deal go through, the deal with the going public, had he did that merger 6 months ago, he'd have the money to pay for it. He'd have the money, because he'd have access to the money right now. Not only would he have access to the money right now, him having access to that money, more lenders would have been more apt to pay. More, they would have been apt to kick them up to front the money, right? But no, he wanted to keep it on hush hush and try to play everybody for stupid, for suckers. That's what he does. He plays people for suckers, and that's one of the things. And why the RNC? And that's what I was asking. Why is the RNC paying Trump's bill? Right? I mean, can y'all afford that? Can y'all really afford that? Think about that. So let's move on to the next one. What are we moving on to?
We're moving on to the
you don't know?
NCAA.
NCAA. I don't know nothing about the NCAA.
Okay. Good, me either. Thank God. Thank goodness.
Thank goodness. How about the dysfunction of the dysfunctional House of Representatives?
Oh, back to
yeah. Think about that. I'm closing my eyes just to think about this, man. Okay. You heard about the budget, right? The budget being passed for 6 months, right? So, they just passed it, I believe, yesterday, something like that. They passed it, right? For $1.2 trillion, right? That's $1.2 trillion. Okay, all right.
Register got stuck.
That's one. Yeah, thank you. That's $1.2 trillion. I knew it was something. The button got stuck. Yeah, right. So $1.2 trillion. So apparently, again, these anti-American, anti-patriotic, these morons and idiots. And I can use terminology like that because it's freedom of speech, right? They call me worse, right? They refer to Democrats as worse, right? So, yeah. They didn't like it. They didn't like they didn't like the Speaker of the House leaving what do you call it? Passing the budget, so that millions and millions and millions and millions, hundreds of millions of people didn't suffer. Wow, figure that, right? The most anti-patriotic people you ever gonna see. I keep telling people for years, they hate this nation. They hate our country. They hate America as America is.
They claim to love it, though. They want to make it great again.
They want to make it great by going back to Confederate rules. Yeah, they want to wipe it all out. That's why I kept telling me you want to get rid of the Constitution. So what do you want to go by? Oh, the Articles of Confederacy. That, in case y'all don't know, that was the original Constitution. The Article of Confederacy was Article of Confederacy. It was Article of Confederacy, and it was a great document. Only one problem with it: it didn't include taxes. You need taxes to pay your bills. You need taxes so that your country can run. You want to know what not paying taxes to your country looks like? I'll give you an example. You want ready? I'll give you a good example. A couple years ago, Greece decided not to pay no freaking taxes.
Oh, that's right.
Greece. That's what happens when you don't want to pay taxes. Your whole country end up in the crapper, right? Then they out here borrowing. They want to borrow money from every nation, everybody, and to pay your bill. No, pay your taxes. Pay your taxes. That's what happens when you don't pay taxes. And that was a wonderful idea, by the way, by Grover Norquist. Not Grover Norquist. Was Grover Norquist? Yeah, Grover Norquist. Grover Norquist, that was, let me see, Grover Norquist. I want to get that. I want to make sure I got this right. You got Grover Norquist. Who was George W. Bush strategist? It wasn't Grover Norquist, right?
I'm not keeping up here.
Grover Norquist. Okay.
You're on your own.
Grover Norquist had an idea as a 12-year-old child. Hey, mommy. Hey, daddy. Let's not pay no taxes. Well, that would be great, right? Now, instead of just humoring the child and saying, "Hey, wonderful, Grover," instead of being like Mr. Roger type parents that humor the child but hit the child with some reality, well, Grover, that sounds like a pretty good idea, Grover. Only the country would go bust, Grover. Do you know what that means? That means that we would be broke. The country will have nothing. Those parks, we wouldn't be able to afford them. The streets, the highways, we wouldn't be able to do it. The post office, we wouldn't have it because we wouldn't be able to pay for it. You know, Grover, we have to pay our taxes. Grover, how about that? But no, they want to humor the kid. And so when the kid became grown, he said, okay, if you want my money, our money, if you want us to raise money for you, you're going to have to go and try to stop paying taxes altogether.
You're still using the 10-year-old voice.
Well, he was sounding like a 10-year-old.
It's a 10-year-old idea.
It's a 50-year-old idea. It's an old idea. So anyway, that was Grover Norquist. Okay, Grover Norquist came up with some idea when he was a 12-year-old kid, and that's what they was running on. And was it the Libertarian Party and all that other stuff? They was running on that stuff, paying taxes. Well, you have to pay taxes. You have to pay taxes. Okay. So I say that to say this. That's an example, and that's what they want to go back to, the Articles of the Confederacy, right? Which again was a wonderful written document, but it didn't meet the needs for our growing nation, and that's what we were. We were a growing nation. Even now, we still kind of like expanding, with the population. The more population, huh?
I didn't say anything.
With the more population, as the population grows, you get more and more seats in Congress. Only the senatorial seats are pretty much finite. That's it. We got 100 senators to represent 50 states. I don't think it's fair because we got a couple other locations that should be represented, that should have congressional representation, right? But that's how it is. But as far as the House of Representatives, the bigger the population to adult age, the bigger you will get, the more representatives that you will have in order to represent those people. So yeah, and of course the functionality. Yeah, that was John. If I went off on a tangent, that was because John brought that up, right? The big JC got me sidetracked, but I'm back. I'm back on track though. I'm back on track. Like I said, they hate this nation. They do. They really hate this nation. Everything they do is to harm this nation. Everything they do, they give more accreditation to communists. They wanted this nation to turn into a communist nation. The House, the Republicans, the RNC. Well, let's say the conservatives. The conservatives. They want to turn whatever they call MAGA, which is MAGA, Make America Great Again. The new phrase for MAGA is make attorneys get attorneys. You ever heard that? No. Yeah, okay. That's what it means. MAGA, make attorneys get attorneys. Dealing with Donald Trump, and over the past 4 years, most of the attorneys that was dealing with him had to get attorneys. You're aware of that, right? Think about that. Make attorneys get attorneys, right? Starting with Michael Cohen. That being the case, they hate this nation. They do. Don't be duped by that. They hate the fact that we are the greatest nation on the earth. Think about this. Their divisiveness is on a level that's like how many decades ago, a century ago. That's their mentality. They don't want to acknowledge that the racism is systemic. All right, no, they don't want to acknowledge that. But then they want to turn around and say, no, we're going to give you the platinum plan. That's what Trump was talking about. Oh, and I'm going to say this because we always say things and people don't believe us, right? And I say things ahead of time. When I told you that when I questioned the Mom for Liberties, that was like 2 years ago. Evangelicals, I asked that question like 2 years ago if they were a cult or not, and now people say they're a cult, right? Moms for Liberty is a sex deviantly sexual organization, right? The heads of them, right? That includes. May include. Let me say a may. Put a disclaimer. That may very well include both the governor's wife and the governor. That may very well, because think about it. They are the closest of friends. Now, I want to know what's happening with that. Anyway, let's go back. We said that. Now, like I said, Rogan, what's his name? Joe Rogan, right? I was saying Joe Rogan is the number one podcaster in his genre, in his lane. He's at 14.5 million, I think, subscribers, where the next one is only at like 7 million subscribers. I forget the name of it. But I just saw this chart the other day. The closest one is like half, right? And believe it or not, Joe Rogan has more subscribers to his show than Truth Social has to their show. Truth Social apparently only have like 8.7 million. And some people are like, well, that's a lot. No, not to be a social network. No, not to be a social media. Not to be like, give you an example. Facebook has over 2 billion. Yeah, and then you got IG, and they're probably up there, I don't know, but they're probably up in the $1.5 billion or more. Twitter probably 2-something billion. So when you look at Truth Social, that's a drop in the bucket. That ain't even a drop in the bucket. You know, that's like a drop in a freaking lake. You know, a drop of water in a lake. That's it. It's crazy, right?
Oh, number 2 is Mind the Game with LeBron James and JJ Redick.
How many?
Stand by.
But what's Joe Rogan?
He's number 1, 16 million.
I say what, 14.5?
Yeah.
16 million. And he just did a contract with oh my gosh, I want to say Spotify. He just redid it. He had a contract with Spotify for $100 million, but Spotify had him only. He was exclusive with Spotify. But now he's doing a $250 million contract with him, but he gets to diversify as far as his platforms that he could actually promote himself on or something like that. So that gives you an idea of how crappy Truth Social is, right? That gives you an idea. Where you got the podcaster, Joe Rogan is twice as much as Truth Social. Got twice as many viewers as subscribers than the other one has, Truth Social. And I guess LeBron James, and who was the other one?
LeBron James and JJ Redick.
JJ
they
Redick.
do a podcast together.
Okay, LeBron James and JJ Redick. Oh, don't let me get started with JJ Redick. That clown. That moron. He's a clown. He's a clown. He's a clown. He's a bronze sexual. I wouldn't be surprised if he be giving LeBron massages and stuff like that, and rub downs before and after. You okay, bro? Yeah, clown. He was the one who called the players from the '60s, compared them to. He tried to shame them because remember in the early days the NBA players they actually had jobs, right? They had jobs. So some of them were plumbers and some of them were carpenters and stuff like that. And, jobs like that, blue-collar jobs because, the NBA didn't pay the bill, right? Because they wasn't big like it is nowadays. So he tried to shame them, okay? So J.J. Redick is a freaking clown. And he wants to talk about, Larry Bird, but Larry Bird can't touch Larry Bird. He couldn't even. Larry Bird jockstrap. He couldn't even carry his jockstrap. That's how ridiculous JJ Redick is and was and is, right? He's a clown. I mean, that's without trying to jump off from everything else. We'll come back to that clown. I'm glad you brought his name up. I'm so glad. I gives him the look like. I'm glad you did, because I'm going to get back on that clown. What happened? So the functionality of the House, they wanted to see the government shut down. Who does that affect? That affects every last one of us. They're going to get their $100,000, the $175,000 for each, what do you call those things, for the House representatives. And what, 200-something thousand for the senators, or I forget the price, but they're probably about the same thing. They're gonna get their money, right? But all of us are gonna suffer. How many? Every federal worker, and I don't know why the federal workers continue to vote for these clowns who vote against them. They vote against their interests every time, all the time. It's gonna cause inflation to blow up out the roof. It's gonna cause everything to start collapse. It's gonna cause the economy, the stock markets to daggone near crash. That's what shutting the government down. It causes an adverse effect across the board that affects who? The average person. Because it's like this: when the stock market take a hit. Because of that big thing, the Great Depression, remember that? The thing that the Republicans caused, the conservatives caused, like 70 years ago? No, more than 70 years. 100 years ago. 100 ago, because we're in the 2024 now, right? We're in 2024, so that was like around 1920s, 1920, somewhere around there.
Stock market crash?
Yeah.
1929.
1929, so 100 years ago.
95.
What?
95, but who's counting?
I'm not. Apparently, I should have been. Apparently, I should have been counting. But anyway, 95 years ago, stock market crashed. People were jumping out the windows. That's why you see a lot of those windows, even not the super high ones that was blowing out because of pressures, not the super high ones are still locked, so you can't open them. Because people were jumping out the windows, right? Oh, man, who's that? Oh, that would look like Bob. Oh, who was that? Oh, that looks like Mr. Robert. What was that? Oh, I don't know that guy. Oh, is that a lady? That's the stock market, right?
I need to get some crash sounds.
Crash sound. Yeah, get some crash sounds. I got that sound CD, man. You gotta upload it. But of course, what the heck was that?
That's a record scratch.
Were you practicing to be a DJ?
Yeah. Sorry.
Okay, yeah, because that was nowhere near crash sound. No. Okay, we're going to leave that alone. We're going to work on that. We're going to work on that. Let's stick with what we know. So what was I saying? Oh, that crash, right? But because of that crash, and And you've heard this. It's like a derogatory sound, but it says, Jews and their money. You remember that sound? You remember that saying? It's. I said it was derogatory, right? Oh, here's my disclaimer. I might say something to piss you off. Yeah, we good, right? Okay, but because of that stock market crash, they put checks and balances in it, so that the stock market will never ever zero out again. It may take a hard hit, but it will never zero out again. For example, the Great Recession under George W. Bush, right? That was a great recession. The stock market was going down. It was going down. It was like it dropped like 4,000 or something like points or something like that, because it was like I think it was almost 12,000. It dropped down to like 7,000, right? So that's 4,000, almost 5,000 points it dropped, right? So what happens is that they shut everything down. They shut everything off. No. Business is shut down, right? It shuts down. So then they open it up like a day later, whatever, a day or 2 days later, they open it back up to see how it, see what's happening, the volatility, right? And if it's still volatile, they shut it back down. Better to shut it down for a day or 2 days, a week or whatever, than to lose like multi-trillions of dollars. I don't know how much 1 point means. I don't know what 1,000 points means, but I know it's in the trillions, all right? 1,000 points is in the trillions of dollars across the board. So they put those checks and balances. So if the country slows down and the budget's not passed, right? If the budget's not passed, the stock market's going to take a hit. Who's going to benefit from that? You? Your 401ks? Those things that are tied into the stock market? No, you know what's going to benefit from it? The wealthy, the people who can afford to buy the stocks when the stocks drop from $100, for example. You understand where we're going with this? Going. All right. That's the way. We got that in loop, right? Okay. Don't do it now. Don't do it every time I mention stock market, right?
I didn't even know what I just queued it up, and I was like, oh, that's a little worse than I thought it was.
Oh, yeah. But it was good because that's what happened. The original stock market crash, that's what happened. Like a long, zeroed out. Then under George Bush, it was give us a short crash.
There's no short crash. Well,
you could start it and stop it, right?
I guess so.
Oh no, we got to cut. Okay, good. Yeah. So that's what happened. So who benefits from that? The wealthy, the billionaires, the 100 million, the centenaires. The centenaires is what? The 100 million people. We got 100 million or better, right? Then you got the billionaires, right? You got the millionaires, multimillionaires. Then you got the centimillionaires, which means you got 100 million. You worth 100 million, or you got $100 million or better. And then you got the billionaires, right? They're going to benefit. Why? Because they can buy those stocks at a reduced price, at $75. At 25%, 50%. They could buy those stocks. And when they are and within a matter of months, a year or so, those stocks are going to shoot right back up to that same old original price and maybe a little higher. So that's not going to benefit the American people. And this is what the conservatives, these morons, these MAGA morons out there, this is what they're doing. They want to hurt you. And I don't know why, for the life of me, you would continue to support somebody who wants to hurt you and your family. Oh, no. I don't care. You're a moron. I know. That's why I keep saying morons and idiots. I don't care. Yeah, that's what I know. I don't care. Thank you.
I don't care.
I don't care. Idiot, you moron. No.
I'm not a moron.
I love Donald Trump. He's my Lord and Savior. You get me started, Donald Trump. We left Donald Trump. We left him, right? I mean, that's why they hate that's why they don't want to do anything with the border. They literally don't want to do anything with the border. They want to bring up the border, but they don't want anything. They want to bring up the problems. They don't want to do anything about it.
It's a chess piece.
It's a chess piece. Yeah. It's something that they want to use, something to run on, because they ain't much they can run on anymore. Right? Everything that they said
can't use gas prices anymore.
And gas prices went up to, I think one state average in Florida is like $3.51. But now you go, if you live in Florida and you go into the gas station, you're seeing at $3.35. Right? $3.29. Right? Which is way below the state average. I don't know how much it is in the other states, but that's how it is. They can't run on that. They can't run on inflation because in Florida, the only place that inflation is high and rampant, basically on like in red states. Florida, it has some of the highest inflation. But the national average is like under 4%. Think about that. So the more havoc they cause from their dysfunctionality, and that's what they're dysfunctional. Margaret Taylor Greene, oh my gosh, she's like a troll. She's like a little gremlin. and she's I don't want to, can I use the H word? Ho? Can I say that?
I don't think it's in the 7 dirty words you can't say on television.
I mean, it's opinion. I mean, she was sleeping around with 3 different men, 2 men that we know of, and then when she divorced her husband, she left off into the sunset with the news guy from the guy from Newsmax. What was that? What was that about? Wow. Remember, she was still in a relationship with her husband. That's crazy. And you're going to tell me about morality? Anyway, they hate this nation. They hate this country. There's no way around it. They want to keep the borders open. Why? So they could use it as a political ploy. The thing with the Joe Biden thing, the impeach Joe Biden, but they never brought up any evidence against Joe Biden. Hell, they couldn't even bring up no evidence against Hunter Biden. They tried to turn everything. Don't listen to it. No, don't believe what you see and hear. Believe what we tell you in the picture that we paint for you. What? You just said don't believe anything I hear, and if you're telling me that, I don't believe you, right? Think about that. So you got to put that in perspective. These guys, they do not care about you. These Republicans, these so-called MAGA, I just call them the wrong wing party now. They don't care about you. They call themselves running all the moderates out of the Republican Party. And like I keep saying, don't let them run you out your party. Don't let them run you out your party. Stay Republican and vote them out. Stay Republican and vote them out. And there are no equivalencies when it comes to these two parties, to the Democrat and the Republican Party. Think about it. Everything that they said they've done, Democrats have done. Balance the budget, Democrats. Every time. Create jobs, Democrats. Bring the table talk issues into fruition, the things that matter. Jobs, we said jobs, lower inflation, which is dropping astronomical. Gas prices, housing, all this stuff happens under Democrats. You're not the same. It's not perfect. You added $2 trillion to the national debt. Donald Trump added $6 trillion in 4 years. 4 years. And you know what? The only money you could count for that they could count for, is like the tax breaks. So where's the other? If that was $2 billion, there's that $2 trillion worth of tax breaks. What happened to the other $4 trillion? Think about that. Everything. Democrats hold them accountable. You got to start holding these Republicans accountable and stop with these false narratives and these false equivalents. Are you aware that when people talk about the COVID, and I said, no, you can't use COVID for an excuse. They go, yeah, but it was 1 million people. 1 million people died, yeah. Over 100,000 people got infected, yeah. Here's why you can't use it. You remember when the Ebola came? Now, a lot of people don't remember that, except for in the wrong-wing media area or media. Yeah, the wrong-wing media. They remember that because Sean Hannity made a big issue. They made a big issue over there. Oh, Ebola. Oh, it's the apocalypse coming. I brought this up last time. The apocalypse is coming. Yeah. You know how many people got infected by the Ebola virus? 12. That was noted. You know how many people died? 2. One of them had actually contacted it while somewhere in Africa, Kenya somewhere. The other one contacted it on the ship, so they couldn't get the medical assistance that they needed to help them. That's why they passed. 2 people died. That was a terrible thing. 10 people were infected, but they survived. Sean Hannity called the Ebola virus, he renamed it the what? The Obama virus. So y'all remember that. Don't pretend y'all don't remember. If you was listening to Sean Hannity, a lot of you listen to Sean Hannity, a lot of you listen to the people over there in the wrong-wing media, you listen to them. And you remember when the Ebola virus came here, like in 2016, early 2016 or 2015. So what happened was that President Obama and Vice President Joe Biden put an office together for a response, to provide a national response so they could correlate. So they could put everything together and have a national response to it, a preemptive response in real time. You know what happened? Donald Trump got rid of the office. Oh, we don't need that. The reason why President Obama gave was because it's going to happen. It's going to happen. It's not a matter of if it will ever happen, it's when it's going to happen. When will it happen? Not if, but when it will happen. Their argument, their position was, well, you know what? That's a 1 in 1,000 year thing. Okay, hello. Bubonic plague, red fever, all of those plagues, that didn't happen 1,000 years ago. The viruses that killed off a lot and infected a lot of the Native Americans or the Northern Hemispheric indigenous people, the Apaches and everyone else, the Comanches, when they came over, when the Pilgrims and the Dutch brought all this disease over, that wasn't 1,000 years ago. That office was put together with teams from the CDC and everybody else to correlate if something like that happened. So what? It costs a couple $100,000. Even if it costs a few $1 million, $3 or $4 million to keep it open. So what? You saw what happened when that ounce of prevention was removed. When the ounce of prevention was removed, we got into the position where over 100 million people were infected. I'm not talking about the rest of the world. I'm talking about America. 1 million people died, gone, because they didn't take it serious. Even when it first started, they didn't take it serious, okay? Well, let's be clear. And that's how this organization, or that's how they're acting. There is no equivalent there. False equivalence. All right? Democrats are better leaders, period, hands down. Now they're talking about, because Republicans are leaving Congress, the House of Representatives, that now the majority is down to like 1. They still have X amount of people, more, but the scenario is that you need at least 6 more people than the other thing in order to pass legislation. Otherwise, you can't really pass legislation. So, that being said, let's go, Joe. Yeah, you heard me. Doc Brandon's on the march. Oh, let me go back to let me hit on Putin. Putin had to retract. He said Ukraine attack was responsible for that terrorist attack. Now they found out that it was Al Qaeda. Woo, that's crazy, right? Anyway, Doc Brandon is on the march, people. Doc Brandon's on the march. And here's my thing. I'm just going to throw this out as a little caveat for all the Democrats who's running in Congress, congressional Democrats and all that stuff. Stop asking me for money. I'm serious. Stop asking me for money. I will vote for you. I will support you. But don't ask me for no money. I'm going to tell you why. You're not going to go out there and say abortion, 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 abortion when you got all these other topics and subjects that you could add to your argument, to your position, to enhance your chances of winning, to compete. All right? No, I'm not gonna sit there. I'm not gonna send my money to somebody and you just talking about abortion. No. I get it. It's a good topic, but you also got the border. You saw what happened in New York when Santos was placed. The Democrat ran on the border and won. He did abortion too, but he ran on the border. It's their fault. They killed the law. They killed the funding. So unless you're gonna run like you want to win, then don't ask me for no money. Okay? All right? Joe Biden is different. Doc Brandon is different because he taking it to him. Thank you. He taking it to him. He bringing up all the stupid stuff that Trump said. Oh, he's cognitive impaired. And then what? What the hell you just said? You talking code? He was talking code.
How did you say it again?
What? And I was saying what? See, that's code talk for MAGA. Because you got to be an idiot or a moron to understand what he be talking about. Cognitive repair. Oh my gosh. How long, please? I ran out. We got 5 minutes. There's some big things going on. Okay, as you know, Tampa Bay area is starting to bloom even more, right? Okay, TBCN is doing good. Then what was the name of that other place? I'm gonna give them a shout out.
What?
The one down the street,
TBAE?
TBA. What's TBA?
Tampa Bay Arts and Entertainment.
Tampa Bay Arts and Entertainment. They're having something coming up. Then what's the other one? The one with the big screens up on the wall.
Being like a government channel?
No. Down there at the other
Talk
end.
about The View?
The View.
Oh.
The View.
You talk about things in the mall here?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. TBAE is downtown.
Okay, TBA in the downtown. My bad.
In the mall, we have Tampa Bay Community Network. We have The View, the virtual.
Right.
And then we have
Wonderful place.
Astronaut Production.
Astronaut Production.
Yeah.
That's the one we're talking about. That's the one I was talking about.
Yeah.
And then we got the other one. What about the one for the training for the youth? The one where they build the robots and stuff and the 3D print?
AMROC.
AMROC.
A lot of things going on here at the mall.
A lot of things popping off at the
Slowly becoming a technology center.
technology.
Less retail, more technology. How's that sound?
It still has retail here, but I'm not going to shout them out until they've sponsored me.
They're slowly going away.
They're slowly going away?
They're building some big anchor stores. But
Okay, so we're
Sprouts and Burlington.
Sprouts and Burlington.
They're staying.
No, don't give no names. I got to go over there and see if they're going to sponsor me. But anyway, there's a lot of great things going on, especially in the Tampa Bay area. You got the Tampa Bay movie theater. What's that movie theater, people? The Tampa Bay Arts?
I mean the theater upstairs or the black box?
Okay, we got the theater upstairs. We got the black box. No, what's the thing, the Tampa Bay theater? host. They do the theater and stuff like that. Art. They do movies and stuff like that.
You mean here in the mall?
I didn't. That's not in the general area.
You're being very vague.
Well, you know what? The other guy. The other guy
It can
knows.
be anybody.
The other guy. I gotta look on my my IG feed because
Okay.
they send it to me. IG feed. It's I don't know what it is.
Don't think too hard.
I'm not gonna think too hard. I got. If it was like 20 minutes ago, I'd think hard, but now it's like 2 minutes. I'm like almost done. I'm like almost done. I'm ready to go practice. I'm going. I don't know. 2 minutes. Oh, okay. So that being the case, I think I did enough shout outs for people. I got to shout the crew out. I mean the whole crew without the whole GBC and support network. This sound like I'm being canceled, right?
What's that?
Sound like I'm being canceled, right?
Why do you think you're being canceled?
I mean, it sounds that way, right? That's like the. Oh, I want to thank everybody for giving me. Oh, Candace Owens was fired. Did you hear?
Who?
Candace Owens. Candace Owens is this right wing, so call herself conservative chick. She got fired. She did an interview with this Jewish guy, right? And they was talking about anti-Semitism and stuff like that. And they fired her for it. I think Ben, what's that guy? Ben Shapiro.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he was. They were together on this thing, and they fired her. I'm like, oh, baby girl, how you feel? How we feel? I think Malcolm X called that chicken come to roost. All right, she was a trip. I would like to do an interview with Candace Owens. So anyway, hopefully we'll have in the future. We have some more guests. We had one fascinating, Mr. Sergio Velasquez. The last time we're gonna have a part 2. I'm trying to figure that out, and I'm trying to work out the details and schedule. I tried to get a couple other people. And I don't want to exposure. Hold up, but your whole business is built on exposure. What are you talking about? In skill sets. Tampa Bay Theater. Is it Tampa Bay Theater?
What about them?
That's what I was talking about. Wait a minute, what? I was talking about Tampa Bay Theater. It's Tampa Bay Theater, right?
Tampa Bay Theater is the Tampa Theater.
Tampa Theater.
The Tampa Theater is an old movie house.
Yeah, but there's an organization, right? Is there an organization to work with them? I'm
not sure.
I'll ask. You know what? I'll ask.
Tampa Theater, built in 1925, the first theater in Tampa with air conditioning.
I did not know that.
Yes.
I did not know that. But anyway, I have that other information. We're gonna call this a wrap because it's been another wonderful show. I told you it's gonna be a wonderful show. You thought I was joking, right? You're like, this guy don't know what he's talking about. But now you know, I know, and Big JC.
You know, but I know. You know that I know.
WC Fields, baby. WC Fields. Pop quiz. Next time I want to know what his full name is.
Oh.
Yeah.
You don't have enough time to look it up.
No, we're going to look it up. Next time.
It's a cliffhanger.
It's a cliffhanger. That's when you hang somebody over the cliff or something. Oh, I hope, baby. Anyway, I'm out. Y'all be good. From Big JC from Keith, the B-roll, we be rolling. Bye.